Hello everyone, thank you for clicking on this video and welcome back to my channel. First thing, thank you so much to everyone who engaged with my last video. It's achieved almost 100 views now and I'm so pleased that people have liked it and enjoyed it. So when I made the original plan for this video, I was going to talk about the equipment I use to produce from home and how I use that to assist my songwriting. But I've decided to park that idea now in place of this video. I think this topic is relevant at the moment, and in the last week or so I think it's started to be talked about more. So this is something I feel is important for musicians, creatives, university students having to now do their degrees from home, and anyone who's having to work in a new or different way or place. And that is dealing with the pressure of being productive at home, especially when we may not feel motivated to do so. So just to start with some of my observations, I think when this virus started becoming relevant in our lives, there was a lot of people feeling anxious about their health, anxious about others, anxious about their careers and their finances. And I think there was a lot of people who did and still are experiencing hysteria rooting from this outbreak. For a lot of people, this experience will feel really foreign, and everyone's experience will be individual to at least some degree. And there are definitely people who feel confused and or are not sure what to feel. There will also be people who experience things completely different to what I've just said. But something that is true to all of us is our lives, in the short term at least, will practically change, and a lot of people will feel unsettled by that. I feel especially unsettled about what the future will look like after my degree from all of this. Now, I don't want this video to be a downer for those looking to stay positive during this time, but I think it's really important to remind ourselves of a message that's been spread so much over the last few years, and that is it's okay not to be okay, especially during these circumstances. Now, this can be applicable to so much over these next few weeks and months, whether that's feeling down about being in isolation or feeling anxious about the future after this, but I thought it'd be useful to share how this is relevant to me at the moment. So in short, this virus has led me to move back home and study my degree remotely. And I'm unhappy about the situation. I'm sad that I won't be able to see my friends. I'm unhappy that I won't be able to finish my university experience being in third year. And clearly I wish this obviously has not happened. And clearly this does not help my mood or put me in the right frame of mind to be working. But I think the thing, or at least the thing that ultimately led me to express this feeling that's troubled me the most, is feeling a pressure to be using up all this free time we now supposedly had, now we're all stuck indoors. I think it is very easy, especially when doing something creative as work, to think of all of this free time we now have as time you should be using to grow your fan base, to be writing songs, to be making that bit of content you've been putting off because you said you were too busy to do, or to practice that skill or instrument you said you would do if you had more time. And I think those are all really good things to be doing with your time. But I definitely feel there's some sort of blame we can put onto ourselves for not using it if we're not feeling motivated to do so. We may then look for or come across content online labelled how to keep productive during Corona, or how to maximise your day when stuck indoors, or see people on social media keeping really positive during this time and how they might be being really productive. Which, if you're one of those people, great, more power to you and keep doing it because I'm sure it's helping loads of people. But sometimes this can leave some of us feeling maybe inadequate about why we may not be coping as well, or why some productivity tips just aren't working well for us. A process that I'm experiencing quite consistently at the moment is feeling bad when not feeling motivated to work, and then not feeling motivated to work when feeling bad. This process of one unwanted feeling fueling the next in a seemingly endless way currently just leaves me procrastinating on TikTok or Instagram, but I know people who can feel really upset by this. And I guess the main message I'm trying to say is that's okay. It's okay not to feel motivated. It's okay to feel anxious about this situation, and it's okay not to be really productive, or as productive as someone who might be writing loads of songs during this situation. I feel it is really easy to compare how we are to others. And I guess one point I'm trying to make at this time, more so than any other time for some people, is we should allow ourselves to ignore how other people are doing if needed, and allow ourselves to be fair to ourselves. For a lot of people, including myself and possibly much more for others, is that this is much easier said than done. But possibly having it said again in this context may remind us to consider it. The second point I'd kind of make from this is it's both okay to feel the pressure to be productive and not to be productive. Telling this to myself recently has helped me from not getting too deep into that spiral. A few things that have helped me deal with this a bit better and inadvertently made me a little bit more productive include having a little bit of a routine, reading a chapter of a book every day, listing and then ticking off small tasks such as making your bed, doing your emails, or having a shower. Doing the most boring task first actually gives me a real boost in feeling achieved, but most importantly, scheduling yourself in breaks. And this might just be for me, but even more importantly than that last point is knowing if you do something creative, mine being music, as for work, that you're allowed to spend time in your scheduled free time doing something else unrelated, whether that's enjoying baking or cooking or walking, and possibly taking on a completely different topic. Mine kind of being this channel might actually help you in other areas as well. This is all still a work in progress for me, and some of those ideas may not work for you, and that's okay, because everyone's different and different things will work for others. But I just kind of don't want there to be pressure for certain things to have to work. At the very least, I hope this video helps, because if I know someone else is going through a similar issue, I don't feel so isolated in it, and actually makes me feel better about it as well. And that about wraps up everything I have to say in this video. I hope this was helpful to someone out there, and I apologise for my rambling. I will be getting better at this, maybe 20 videos down the line, so thank you for sitting through that. And there's just a couple people I'd like to thank you who partially inspired me to make this video. Amy Brighty Potts, who was the first of my friends to start somewhat publicly speaking about this issue, and Damian Keye, whose video relating to this subject actually helped me feel better, and I'll link that in the description below. If you made it this far through the video and found it useful or liked it, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.